everyone and welcome back. In today's video, we're going to be exploring cations and anions. This is not related to any of the NCERT syllabus that we've been covering lately, but this is quite a wide topic and it's pretty useful in chemistry, mostly areas of chemistry. So understanding these will help us a lot. We're going to be looking in the depths of it to help us out with the understanding. So the first thing we want to do is to spell out the two words, cations and anions. We can see that cations have two syllables, right? And those two syllables are cat and ions. So we can see that these are the two words which make up cations, right? And in anions, we've got two syllables as well, an and ions, right? So anions and cations have something common in them, which is the ions, right? They both contain ions. So, in order to understand what cations and anions are, we first need to look at what ions are. So, what is an ion? An ion is an atom which has an uneven amount of protons compared to electrons. This results in the atom to no longer be called an atom but a cation or an anion. So, normally without any chemical reaction, remember, without chemical reaction, this is very important. So, without any chemical reaction, number of electrons is equal to the number of protons, but when chemical reactions happen, they want to kind of get rid of all the electrons in their valence shells. Valence shells are the last shells, and if you didn't know, atoms have shells in them. Not really shells, but shells are where you might find electrons. So, if we draw an atom, 1, 2, these two, this and this, are shells. And this is where electrons can be roaming around. And that is where electrons will be found, and they have a limited amount of protons they can hold. So the first one can hold 2, the other can hold 8. They're called KLMN, and those are the names of the shells. So KLMN is the name. Okay, so number of electrons is equal to number of protons, normally without a chemical reaction in the atom, but when they are disbalanced or they're uneven, maybe there's more electrons, there's more protons, that results in the atom no longer to be called an atom but an ion, and that ion is of two types, cations and anions. So let's look at cations and anions one by one. Cations are positively charged atoms which have given away electrons. Now remember, atoms can only give away electrons or take in electrons. They can't throw out their protons or take in protons because the protons are packed inside the nucleus. However, the electrons are just roaming outside in these shells. And remember, the electrons can only run away from the last shell. And the electrons cannot be found in any other shell if the first shell or the cell before that is not fully filled to its limit. Okay, so remember that. And when atoms give away their electrons, they become positively charged, right? So there's more protons than neutrons, and electrons, and we know that protons are positively charged, electrons are negatively charged. So if there is more positive charge, then they are positively charged. Examples of this can be Na plus or Mg2 plus. Na is sodium, Mg is magnesium. Let's move on. What are anions? Anions are negatively charged atoms which have taken in electrons. So when there are more electrons, meaning there's more negative charge, it becomes negatively charged. The atom becomes negatively charged, and then it's called anions. So there's chlorine, which is Cl minus, and we've got iodide, which is iodine with a negative charge. If you have two positive or two negative, you write 2 plus on the top. However, if you have one negative or one positive, then you just write a minus sign or a plus sign. That will just represent that it has one more charge of negative or positive. Okay, and with that, we have finished this topic. Hope you enjoyed everything. Hope you learned something new. Hope you understood everything. And comment down below any questions if you have. And that's it from me today. Have a good day, and I'll see you then. Bye bye.